Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Life with Eve. If you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscription button. So today I'm going to talk about my story in Dubai, my journey in Dubai, and how I got to be here in the first place. So the story goes back to 2014. Yeah, 2014 September. This is when me and my mom had this conversation, and we were like, I was telling my mom that, you know what, my mom was already in Dubai, so I was like, eventually I want to join you, and I want to see what the land of milk and honey has for me. So yeah, in 2014, I came and I started looking for a job. Those who have been here longer know how it was back then, tammacking. Yeah, we used to call it tammacking. So basically, you come with a visit visa. I came with a visit visa for 1 month. And you just, every day you go drop your CVs. Majority of the places that I was looking into were hotels, restaurants. I didn't know better. You know, everyone that you meet, they tell you like hotels are just the easiest to get. Restaurants are the easiest to get. So I was just targeting something that I would easily get so that I avoid having my visa renewed and all these things. So I got my first job at one restaurant, which was called Golosita. I still remember it up to today. So Golosita didn't have any employees. It only had like 4 chefs. It's an Italian restaurant, and I think it's still in business. It's around somewhere in JLT. So it only had like 4 chefs and then 1 manager. And then now there was me who had just joined as a staff. So I was basically front staff and back staff. So I come serve the pizzas, the pastas, and then go back and scrub the saucepans in the kitchen and all these things. So in the beginning, Golosita was so hard for me, and I was just couldn't. The water temperatures were so high. When you open the tap, it's like your hands are burning. And I felt overwhelmed with this job. So I approached my manager and I was like, you know what? Thank you so much for the offer, but I think this is just not the job for me. And he was like, yeah, it's okay. We totally understand. And for that, we'll pay you for the number of days that you've worked. So I got paid, I think, around 1,000 dirhams. That was back in 2024, guys. The 1,000 that the company paid me, I renewed my visa. So I had, my 1 month was over. I renewed my visa and I stayed for another 1 month. So in this other 1 month is where I had done multiple interviews. And then now, fast forward to the second month coming to an end, I had to exit to go back to Kenya. And I went to Kenya, like, let's say on a Friday. And then on a Sunday, I got an email from a company called Zilals Group, and they had sent me my offer letter. Like, I could not believe it, guys. I was already back in Kenya, broke, no money, nothing. I didn't, okay, like, I just had hopes that I could come back to Dubai someday, but I wasn't sure when. So when this company sent me my offer letter, I was over the moon, excited. Went back to my previous boss and I was like, you know what, can you please lend me some money so that I can go back to Dubai? I don't know who goes back to their boss to borrow money, but I did. So yeah, my boss was like, sure, why not? You're like my daughter. So she lent me money, which is enough for me to book my flight back. And when I came back to Dubai, my mom had gone back to Kenya because we went back together. So I didn't have like friends. I only had my mom and then the people that we were tammacking together. This offer letter that I had got was a retail job. So there's a store called Carter's and they sell kids' clothes. I had gotten a sales associate position. So in this job, I was working in Mirdif and I was staying in Sharjah at my mom's friend's house. I didn't have money, guys, to pay where I would stay. I was staying at my mom's friend's house. I stayed there for like 2 weeks. And then there's a friend that I had met one time when I went visiting one of my mom's clients in Marina. He's from Italy. So this guy was checking up on me one day and he's like, hi, how are you? Did you come back to Dubai and all these things? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not fine. He's like, why are you not fine? I was like, yeah, I came back. I stay in such and such a place. And I work in such and such a place. It's quite a distance. I don't have enough money, blah, 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 all this. And then he was like, yeah, don't worry. I can help you out. So he gave me 2,000 dirhams. Guys, he gave me 2,000 dirhams. That was in 2014. And he was like, you don't have to pay me back. You don't have to pay me back. This I'm just giving you so you can find a place that you feel like you'd be able to stay, and also so you can start a life for yourself. An angel in human form. So yeah, I was so grateful. I moved houses. So I moved to a place called Al Riga and I started my life. So anyway, my salary was so less. The life was just beginning. And I had to find tactics. Guys, remember, I had to pay that debt that I borrowed from my previous boss. So what I used to do is I used to go look for a landlord and ask them like, how much would it be for me to stay in this place? Those who know bed space know bed space. So I'd go to a bed space and ask the price. Let's say, for instance, I've been told, okay, you'll pay for a bed 700, and then I'd be like, can I please pay 650 this month? And once the landlord says yes, I can pay 650, because most of them would be like, okay, you pay 650 this month, and next month you pay 700. So I'd be like, okay, I'd pay 650, and next month I'd move out and go look for another landlord who will allow me to pay 650 or 600, because I was on a budget, guys. I was only being paid 1,800. So there's no way I would afford to stay in a luxurious place. So anyway, I worked in Curtis for 2 years, finished my contract, left, and then went to Landmark, where I also worked for 2 years, finished my contract, and finally joined my dream company, Adidas. I worked in Adidas for 5 years, and it's in Adidas where I started my fitness journey. So this is very important because that's where the connection starts. I started in Adidas in 2019. I was in a very promising relationship. I'll give you the tea later. And then I worked in Adidas for 5 years. And after 5 years, I was like, you know what? It's time we move on. It's time we move on. And then I joined another company that I'm not going to mention. That one broke me more than that relationship I was talking about. Worked there for, I'm not sure if I clocked a year or maybe less than a year. And then now, joined another company. And guys, the most beautiful thing about my recent company is all of these companies that I've mentioned that I worked for were retail. And now finally, it's like it was a prayer. After 10 years, I am in corporate. So I'm currently working as an HR assistant. So guys, thank you so much for staying with me, and thank you for listening to this beautiful story. So all the stories that I've told you and the ones that I mentioned that are important, please hold on to them because all the teas lie in between there. See you in my next video. Bye.